This is my favorite 5 minutes of the whole week. This is presented by our friends, buckle up, at the DQs, the Dairy Queens of Northwest Edmonton and Sherwood Park. These are all real emails that are submitted to talk@ryanjesperson.com. It's time to bring the heat, all right? This is time for you to step up on our blowtorch. We want you to bring your hot takes. It's the Flamethrower, presented by the DQs in Palisades, Namao, Newcastle, Westmount, Baseline Road. This from Colin, who says, I've been listening to Real Talk for days and days about the plight of the municipalities, the municipal governments in Alberta. I have to ask, where the fuck is all the money going? What is the province spending our money on? Our current royalty revenues, the second highest in history. They've slashed funding to the cities. They've slashed funding to universities. We have the lowest per capita spending in Canada on public education. Our healthcare system appears to be falling apart. They're borrowing money to put into the Heritage Fund. So what the fuck are they spending this revenue on? They want to do an audit on Edmonton. Who's doing an audit on the province? This fallacy of conservatives being good with money needs to die. If you can't budget on this revenue, then when can you? That from Colin. What about this one from LD, who says, I don't even know where to begin, Jesperson, after your Tap-Yag interview, this political party in Edmonton. I was so angry at the attitude. All they could come up with was lower taxes, cool events, good vibes. I would have voted for David Dorward if that was all we needed. Remember David Dorward used to grow up ponytails and then cut it off and sell it for charity? Love Dave. Says, what we don't need is a bunch of UCP suck-ups. I voted for my counselor after reading her platform, listening to and liking what she had to say. It goes on to say, Sohi, Salvador, Paquette, Jen, Stevenson, Knack, Wright, Principe, working to get a fair shake for our city, working collaboratively, while our insane premier hands out millions of dollars in patronage appointments and softly lit videos that harm kids. I really resent that they think I need a municipal party to tell me what to think. And as for Gen Z, you really think they're worried about property taxes? Have you ever talked to anybody from Gen Z? What do you think they think about? Living wages, rent controls, public transit, a screwed up climate, fair access to public services. You know what? All this stuff, get out of the city. Go live in Grand Prairie or something. Whoa! Seems to be your preferred model. That from LD. Okay, what about this one from Gabriel, who says, first things first, let's fucking go Connie Walker. Gabriel says, I love that interview, Jesper, with the Pulitzer and Peabody winner, one of Times 100, the creator of the Stolen podcast series. Gabriel says, what a star, and all the power to Connie and her future. Secondly, I don't need to blow smoke up your ass, Jespo, but props on the interview with the tap me straight in my head, folks. Okay, but what universe does this trio live in? It's hard to be specific, even to know where to start with this, but it made me angry. I gotta be honest with you. Like, what the fuck was this vapid, vague, platitude-riven bullshit that was spewed, honestly shocking from folks that apparently want to make a difference in municipal politics? There was like one mention of livability in the entire take, and it took 15 minutes for them to get there. Now, maybe political parties on a municipal level can make a culture change and be more honest with civilians. I doubt it, but maybe they could make that their goal. The main highlighted gripes: potholes, snow clearing, property tax burden on single-family homes. This can't be serious. Gabe says, let me be very, very, very clear. If municipal leaders are telling you they can have low taxes, great roads, cleared roads, and forever expand single-family homes into a suburban hellscape, they are fucking lying to you, in all caps. The reason every city in this country is barely hanging on is because of suburban sprawl. Developers love it because it statistically produces the best and greatest profit margins. I'm just going to call this what it is, a fucking fairy tale. We just want to play nice, get along, hold hands, and be innovative. These are the same folks who probably cheer for paying CEOs tens of millions of dollars to make the really hard decisions on what percentage of workers to cut to increase profitability. He says, affordable housing or road maintenance to fix potholes? Fuck poor people, I guess, because potholes win every single time. That from Gabe. And how about this one from James, after he talked about Randy Boissonneau, the ethics commissioner. He's on that board, and they got a bunch of appointments in federal dollars. Tough spot for Randy. James says it's disappointing to hear about this conflict of interest with the federal jobs minister. This is a huge problem with the current Liberal government. You mentioned the We Charity, Jespo, the ArriveCan app, but let's not forget Mary Ng giving contracts to her friend, or Bill Morneau introducing changes to pensions when his company administers many of the pensions in Canada. Yeah, not to mention, James, Morneau Chappelle, the ones that did the consultation report for the Alberta government on the APP. All right, back to James's email. It says, I have friends and family in the civil service. Let's give them a shout out out for all the great work they do. Second, they are highly scrutinized for any potential conflict of interest, and they're very careful about accepting anything. When my company meets with government agencies, we can't even buy them coffee. We can definitely not bring them lunch because they could face discipline, maybe even termination. It makes me sick that their elected bosses hold them to high standards that they don't follow for themselves. That from James, who sent his email to talk@ryanjesperson.com. The Flamethrower, proudly presented by the DQs of Northwest Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Coming up on next week's shows, Charles Adler kicks us off on Monday. Plus, we'll check in with our friends, the Eye on Alberta Business from the Alberta Chambers of Commerce. And don't forget, May 8th, we get into BC's drug policy. They're walking it back. Is it the right move? In the meantime, thanks for liking and sharing our content. Keep it on the wheels this weekend, and we'll see you soon.